Hello. Sure. All right. We are ready. All right. So we are in our first masterclass for the 30 days to beating prediabetes. So I want to welcome everyone that has decided to join in on this journey of taking back their health and doing something about lowering their risk prediabetes, or you've already been diagnosed with diabetes and you need some resources and tools and you haven't managed it in the best way that you could. So, week one training is going to be all about mindset, energy, and weight loss. This masterclass attacks those few areas. So let's first talk about what mindset. What's the definition of mindset? So the mindset is an established set of attitudes held by someone. So if you think about that, we all have different mindsets when it comes to things. We all have limiting beliefs. So just want to pose a question: what has led you to finally doing something about decreasing your risk of prediabetes, or doing something about um, your current status of being a diabetic? What has triggered? Has there been any recent life occurrence that has said, you know what, I got to do something about it? If you're looking at this live or in the future replays of this, go ahead and post those in the comments because I will look at those comments. I'm going to go ahead and look and see, make sure we don't have any currently before we get going. Okay, awesome. So don't have any current questions now. So make sure I try to keep up with those. If I happen to miss it, I will come back through in the comments and take a look at them. So mindsets, energy, and weight loss. Mindset, the established set of attitudes held by someone. So what do you think some of your limiting beliefs are when it comes to diabetes? Is there a stigma associated with it? You have family members that have always had it that you just said, well, that's just the way, it is. Grandma had this, mom had this, it runs in the family, it is what it is. But what are we, how can we shift our mindset to thinking about our overall health and wellness and what we can do to reverse those family um, curses, generational things that are going on so that we can take back our health and not be reliant on medications, injections, things of that sort for the rest of our life, knowing that there is solutions and things that you can do to take better control and not just leave it up to the prescription that you have. So when you think about that mindset shift is what can I do myself to change the narrative, change the narrative on where you want to be 30 days from now. You know, this is not going to solve everything, but guess what? It's going to jumpstart the tools and get that mindset shift on what you need to do to make this a lifestyle change. Implementing as we go through this 4 weeks or this 30 days, implementing these things, you will see changes. Going through the process, shifting your mind and making a lifestyle change. I don't want to just be it's just a challenge or something I did for 30 days and you didn't learn tools and resources. That does not help you long term. That doesn't help with your A1C levels. It doesn't help with your energy, with changing having this medication that you may have to be on. Those things are things that we want to see permanent change to. Permanent change. That's what we want to see. Permanent change that we've made that a lifestyle. So let's talk about fatigue. Now, many of us know that, okay, there's a difference between fatigue and being tired. Tired is I had a long day, or this and this, I'm just tired. I'll go to sleep, wake up, and I'll be better. Fatigue is not necessarily meaning that when you rest, it may not help. So fatigue is actually, or chronic fatigue is actually one of the factors that are high in individuals with diabetes. So some factors that may be causing some of that fatigue could be high blood sugar. It could be that your sleep is disrupted. It could be that you have different stressors. So all those they play in a role on how you feel and how your body responds to things. So that's why we wanted to focus on getting that mindset shift and looking at what can we do to increase energy and therefore boost weight loss, because we know with decreasing weight and weight management, especially in the abdominal areas, is going to help decrease our risk of becoming full blown diabetic, or also being able to take ourselves out of being diabetic, diagnosed as diabetic, based on our A1C or blood sugar levels. So I actually saw that, I'm trying to think where I saw the study. I think it was the American Diabetes Association said that 61% of newly diagnosed individuals with diabetes report fatigue. So that's a pretty high percentage. So the way that diabetes takes over your system and how you're able to operate and function, it goes more than just I have to take some medicine for it, or I have to worry about what carbs I'm going to be intaking. Fatigue and other things play a huge role in that as well. So there's some other reasons why we can say, let's look at fatigue and its role with our blood sugar. Excuse me. Let's look at what is going on with diabetes. So basically, our pancreas makes insulin, which is a hormone. Hormone now pushes that glucose to our cells, which is sugar. Cells pushes out for energy. The sugar has to go into our cells to give us energy. Some way in that process, either the insulin isn't being, not enough insulin is being made, there's some impairment in insulin, and now we're getting a buildup of this, all the sugar floating around our system, and it was supposed to go into the cells and give us energy. So those changes there happens internally. So we know now that our cells need sugar to provide energy. If our cells are being deprived, we're not getting the energy. So we see that when there's an impairment in that process, then some things have to change, and that's why you see things such as metformin, insulin, and other blood sugar control medications being out there to help with that system. So guess what? So if your cells don't get enough of the sugar, that means fatigue, weakness. And you see, now it becomes a cycle, and then you get some of the other symptoms of excess thirst, actually excess hunger after you've already eaten. It starts disrupting with your sleep as well. Frequent urination. Those are some of the things that start to show up that our body is telling us that we're in crisis right now and something has got to give. And then those are things that sometimes, especially as women, we tend to push away. Oh yeah, it's no big deal. I'm just tired because da 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 da, or I've had a long day, blah blah blah. And then you don't notice that those sleep patterns are being disrupted. You might be getting up to go to the bathroom at night. You may be restless. All those things playing a role into our body is fighting. Our body needs. Um, it's telling us something, but it might be going on silently right now. So when you think about fatigue and energy, now we look at depression. So they've had, actually, there's a 2 to 3 times increase in individuals that may be classified as being depressed because of poor sleep, um, as well as, um, though when you think about your energy levels, if you have decreased energy, then you're not going to want to move. You're not going to exercise. You're going to maybe try to sleep a little bit more, but sometimes it's difficult to go to sleep. So you can see how depression can be a factor. And a lot of the changes that we have to make when being pre-diabetic and being diabetic is we have to make those lifestyle modifications. If we don't want to continue to see this disease progress and progress, we have to make those lifestyle modifications that involve our nutrition, exercise, decreasing weight, and then making lifestyle changes. So not just drastic, oh yeah, I'm going to do all this 50,000 things at the same time, and I'm going to do this and that, and then you fail. You know, a lot of times we see that with bad diets. The new such and such is coming out, and oh, I'm going to try it because I want to lose weight. Then you get on that. Then you might lose some weight because, yes, it's not only necessarily that diet that you tried, it's you made other changes and you drastically gotten away from some of those foods that weren't better for you. So it wasn't necessarily that diet. Then you get tired of it. Then you, hey, I fall off. I'm starting back with blah, blah, blah this week. You didn't make it a permanent fixture of how you eat. You know, you can have balance in everything you do because that's how you're going to be able to maintain it, is in that balance. So we want to break the change of decreasing that risk of depression, as well as we want to be able to get those levels in energy levels up. So it begins right here with that mindset shift. So let me make sure I don't have any comments going on there. If you guys are with me, go ahead and type in the comments mindset shift. So go ahead and put mindset shift. I'm gonna take a quick little drink of my good old water. Speaking of energy, take a little sip of water here. All right, sit that back down. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about energy. Excuse me. So energy, we all want more energy. It seems like that's one of the things, like, oh, I'm tired. You get that afternoon crash and you're trying to figure out how can I get my energy back? But that goes into I mean, a lot of people, a lot of people struggle with energy and trying to find it and trying to figure out how can they boost their energy. Who, raise your hand, who has struggles with energy levels? Yes, a lot of us do. I will raise my hand just like anybody else. Yes, I have energy, but ways that we can increase energy have to do with sleep, stress, moving more, as well as decreasing those added sugars. So we know those are easier said than done. Like, guess what? We'll just get more sleep, 8 to 10 hours of sleep. We can do that. Challenging for some. I have to say, sleep is definitely an area that I need to do a lot better with. One thing I had been able to work on is setting up kind of um, a sleep what's it pattern routine, a sleep routine that kind of gets us there, like, okay, I'm starting to wind down, get myself prepared for sleep, so my body also gets the cues that it's time for sleep, and not just looking at my screen, looking at my phone, whatever, social media. Okay, time for bed, hop in the bed. So I've been trying to work on a more steady routine, so that your body is prepared to go down and shut down mode. We need that recovery time. So speaking of that energy, most of us are severely dehydrated. Hydration is key. Let me make sure. Okay, good. Hydration is key. So, and depending on your age and various other things, 55 to 75% of our bodies are made up of water. Water is our life breath. If our joints don't have water, you might be like the Tin Man. The Tin Man needs oil. Our bodies need water. We need that hydration. That helps everything move easier, including those bowels. Good poos when you drink enough water. So, water is going to be the life breath of everything that we do. And also, water boosts your energy. It's hard for me to drink water. You see here, I have this. Let me move this over a little quick. Yeah, my water bottle. This is 32 inches. Look, my sister got that for me. And it's a struggle bus for me to drink this. Now, I've actually infused this water with some cucumber to give it a little bit of flavor, and it's actually more hydrating as well. So that's cool. But shifting back to water, dehydration. When you're dehydrated, it impacts your brain function, your mood, your energy levels. Also, can be resulting factor for anxiety and fatigue. Let that sink in. So something as simple as water can have that much control over you and how our body responds and how we're able to perform and move at our best. Water is like magic. You think about times that you have that afternoon crash, and guess what? You might go to the vending machine or reach for the sugary snack or the caffeine boost. We've all done it. But a lot of times those triggers are telling us that we are actually thirsty. We are actually already dehydrated. So our hydration cues are really going to help us with increasing our energy levels as well as jump starting weight loss. So a lot of times our dehydration is masked as hunger. So that afternoon crash, it may not be that you're hungry, it may actually be that you're thirsty. So we can't wait for those cues. We just have to work on a more targeted schedule of getting in enough water for our body to perform at our best. So I know a lot of people, oh, I don't like to drink water. I know some people are really just not necessarily water drinkers. Yeah, it's a struggle for me to drink water. So I've been being more conscious. And I know when I am drinking water that I do actually have more energy. I have more energy. You don't have that, that brain fog, and then you're able to be more effective during the hours of the day that you need to be effective. Now, my husband, on the other end, he drinks water all the time. So he's always joking. He's like, oh, I already had 64 ounces and I already had this. I'm like, I'm struggling on this 32 ounces right here. And I've gone to the bathroom 16 times. But it's really that hydration peace is a crucial role in helping you and your body to perform at your best, and as well as with decreasing that risk in that diabetes management. So on to the next, water and weight loss. So water can actually decrease cravings, burn more calories. It helps boost your metabolism, and it helps you be regular. So those good old healthy poops and that keeping that system flowing and everything moving in the way that it should be. So just for those factors there, you think, okay, I do need to be more conscious about water. And then that's not um, the little packets where you put in there spritzers of water, almost like Kool-Aid. It's actually water, maybe some infused water. Because I will actually post some infused water recipes, and those are necessarily infused with fruit. So it's not a pre-packaged container that you're adding into it. I can't even think what the name of those are now. But anyways, water, 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 and helps your skin nice and smooth, looking younger than you are and feeling younger as well. So that leads us into challenge number one. It's going to be a 7-day water challenge. So energy and to jumpstart your weight loss, we're going to push this 7-day challenge. So, guess what? I'm going to post some water infused recipes. Also, continue to check your email for content and support from me as well. If you have not received the emails, please check junk mail, promotions tabs, all of that, so that you are getting the content via email as well. We'll have motivation and encouragement within this group for this 7-day water challenge. And I want those accountability pictures. I want you posting those pictures of you drinking your water, you tallying off saying, guess what? I've got my water in today. I'm making a conscious effort so that you can get extra accountability and support from the group. So I will email out and post in the group the full details for the water challenge. But day one begins tomorrow. Tomorrow is Wednesday, and you got to get going with that water. So the goal for tomorrow is 32 ounces of water. 32 ounces. This is actually happens to be the same height. Let me move over to the camera. Same height as this. It's a nice little nifty one. my sis got for me, and this is actually 32 ounces of water here. So our goal is to get that 32 ounces of water in. You can infuse these. The top of that lid actually has cucumber slices, so it gives it a little different flavor, so it doesn't feel like it's just plain water. And I like my water ice cold. You can drink yours however you want, but if mine's not cold, I ain't having it. No way I'm gonna be able to drink that water. Yeah, or it makes it much harder to drink that water. And if you're exercising, working out, you're gonna have to bump up that level more because you're gonna lose more when you sweat and through your urine as well. So you may have to up your challenge a little bit more. If you're used to drinking 32 ounces every day and that's easy for you, bump yourself up another cup or two. Give yourself a little challenge. So we're going to steadily increase those cups by a cup a day, essentially for the 7 days. Accountability. And I do have a special prize for the most engagement throughout that 7 days when it comes to a 7 day water challenge. Day one begins tomorrow with 32 ounces of water. Post your pics, accountability, water challenge. If you have any other questions, concerns, and things that you want to be able to get out of this group that we haven't already addressed, then please feel free to drop a comment, send me a direct message, reply back to any of my emails so that we can get the information that you needed. Next week, our master class is going to be about nutrition to help level out our blood sugar levels. I'm working on a special guest to be able to come in and join me for this live. So hopefully we'll be able to get that. But keep pushing, stay motivated, encourage each other. The 7 day water challenge begins tomorrow with 32, the goal, 32 ounces of water. If you're already a water stud and you just drink water all the time, try to bump it up another level from what you've normally been doing. Post in the group your accountability pictures of you finishing up that water or drinking your water throughout the day. You're also going to be receiving some more content and support via email and a couple infused water recipes that may jumpstart some people's imagination and jazz up their water just a little bit. All right, masterclass number 1 is now complete. I will see you guys in the group and have a good evening.